Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Checking In with Your Coach. The last episode we talked a little bit about recovery and sleep. This episode we're starting to talk about nutrition. So as you can see, I've upgraded some tech. Now I've got a camera, and now I can talk to you and you can see me talking. Because you know what? You can learn a lot from just what I do with my hands. So what we're doing today is it's all about, again, just getting some things established so that you guys can already take it from this episode and start enacting them. The first thing I want to talk about is a shopping list. Okay, so everybody should go shopping at least one day a week. Okay, that allows you to have some fresh vegetables, fruits, things like that. That's fantastic. Okay, great. But what I'm talking about more so is establish a shopping list that every single week you need as a basis. Okay, so I'll give you an example. For us, there's Greek yogurt. There's, my type of Greek yogurt, my wife's type of Greek yogurt. She has, Fairlife milk on there, rice, hamburger, things that we're going to eat just about every single week. Not every day, but just about every week. We typically know, we're going to have chicken a few nights a week. So, okay, let's buy a certain amount of chicken. Again, coffee, certain things that we're always going to have. We always have that on a list. Now, some people, what they've done is they'll take it one step further and they'll establish that list, but then laminate, that portion of the list because it's never going to change. They're always going to have coffee and eggs and things like that on there. But then one step further is this going to be a week of, you have to decide, is this going to be a week of cheating, or not cheating, but really rewarding yourself possibly with food? Or is this going to be more of a week where you're trying to really kind of keep things in tight? So what I mean by that is, for me, if I'm trying to be as, clean eating as I possibly can, on my list I'll write things that kind of keep me motivated during that time, such as maybe it's Cool Whip and sugar-free jams and sugar-free, syrups and things like that, so I can add that to the Cool Whip in order to make it seem like I'm having ice cream. Or, during that week, I need to make sure I have a jar of, natural peanut butter or almond butter or something so that, I get that kind of cakiness in my mouth if that's what I'm looking for. Maybe that week we're going to do fajitas or we're going to do, whatever. And I need to make sure that, hey, I want to lower my carbs maybe a little bit because I'm trying to lower body fat or whatever it is. I want a lower carb tortilla, some things like that. Now, on the cheat weeks, it's, okay, I plan to have ice cream, but I'm going to have ice cream only once this week. So maybe I'll buy a little half pint or a little cup of ice cream the day that I'm going grocery shopping. Or, I'm going to have pasta this week, so I need to make sure I have my rice noodle pasta, which we have as our weekly routine because we're always having rice noodle pasta. But again, maybe if you're going to reward yourself with chips, maybe you love chips. On a week that you're trying to eat a little bit better, maybe it's not so great tasting in your opinion type tortilla chip, and maybe you have some plain non-crazy salsa just so that you get that crunch that you're looking for. But then maybe you reward yourself throughout the weeks. Maybe you get your Chex Mix or whatever it is that you enjoy crunchy wise. Again, and this can go, am I having donuts this week? Am I having cake this week? Am I having brownies this week? Whatever it is, put that on your list. But the hardest thing to do is when you have that list established and you go out, let's say it's Sunday morning, you grocery shop, you get all the things you need. It's making sure that you have enough food for the week so that if Thursday rolls around, you're not out of food, which has happened to me before. The refrigerator always looks full until about Tuesday. Anyway, the hardest thing for people is you think you ran out of food. Ooh, my camera's lagging a little bit. Sorry about that. You think you've ran out of food. I'm going to see if I can take care of that quickly. Yeah. Okay, maybe that'll help. Anyway, so you've, gotten your food. It's Thursday and you're like, I really want some sweets or whatever. You shouldn't, okay? Because you have enough food for the week. You already established the days that you were going to have cheats. If you weren't. You're putting in place kind of a roadblock so that you don't go to your local grocery store on a Thursday when you're starving and you eat a bunch of food. So, okay, that's the first tier. Establish that shopping list. Now, something you should have in your freezer, hopefully you have space for this, are meals that can go in the freezer. Maybe it's something that you've prepared early or whatever. My camera is really fucking up right now. Anyway, something that you can establish ahead of time. So maybe it's, I don't know, a frozen TV dinner or something, maybe a fit kitchen, maybe it's a one meal in a baking sheet, type meal that you get out of the freezer, just in case there is a week where you're like, oh shoot, I kind of messed up. I don't have enough food, or I don't have enough time to prepare the whatever I was going to prepare. Something happened at work, whatever it may be. So have some things like that established. Also, having so step 3, having a game plan for you're on your way home and you're like, I'm starving. Normally dinner's at 6, it's 8:30. Maybe the kids had a hockey game or whatever the heck's going on. Nothing's planned. What am I going to do? Having a plan established. So my plan in that situation is I'll go to the local grocery store around 8:30. They're not really going to have these anymore, but I'll get a rotisserie chicken, a bag or two, or a pouch rather, of rice, and then maybe some broccoli or whatever. And then I'll just quickly shred up the chicken. Maybe I'll get some low carb tortillas or something like that. Put the rice in with it, put the broccoli or the spinach or the whatever in a wrap, so at least it feels like you're getting kind of a meal. That way you have something to eat. Otherwise, it's going to be what? Frozen pizza. It's going to be fried chicken. It's going to be, Subway's not that great either, but it's going to be Burger King, McDonald's, some fast food bullshit where it takes just as much time commitment to go to the drive-thru, sit there, wait in line for all of you guys, and wait and wait and wait, and then you get your bag of food, and then you drive home and you're starving by the time you get home. In the amount of time that it takes in the drive-thru, you can most likely stop at a grocery store, get a rotisserie chicken, get some things, get home, shred it. It's not that big of a deal. Having a plan is really what I want you guys to take from this. So again, establish a shopping list. Are you going to have cheat meals this week? What's that going to look like? What days are you going to have? Buy a limited amount. Don't buy a 50 pack of fruit snacks, even though I've done that. Don't buy a 50 pack of fruit snacks and somehow expect your self-discipline to be able to manage the fact that you have 50 of them and you're only supposed to have 2 pouches or something. If you're trying to limit how many pouches you get, buy a limited number of pouches. Don't buy 50 if you're only trying to eat 10, okay? And then from there, again, have meals for the times that you screw up, you don't have enough food at home, you don't have enough time to make it whatever it is. And then finally, have a game plan for those days that, life happens and you need to eat. Good luck out there, guys.